As I've said in a previous video, I picked up this round column mill drill about a year ago. Came out of a factory. They were using it as a rough and dirty drill press. And it was rough and it was dirty. So I already had a pretty good collection of R8 tooling for it, so I was set there, but I needed vices. So I went on one of the local marketplace sites. I picked up a pair of these Chinese knockoff. It's a knockoff of a Kurt vise, 5-inch vise, machine vise. And for this type of operation, that's a pretty good vise. I bought 2 of them. And that's the after. Here's the before. Look at that. That's just awful. But that's all surface rust. Today, I'm going to show you how to clean this up to look like this. I've already added my first accessory to the recently built fold-up welding table. Piece of 1/4-inch rubber mat. Makes a beautiful surface for working on mechanical stuff. That's where I'm going to tear this vise apart and do the thing. I plan on drilling some holes in the mat, putting some hooks on the back of that door, and hanging it there when it's not in use. First thing we're going to do is tear this thing completely apart. Don't lose this little piece. Now that it's completely apart, I'm going to put all the small parts in an ultrasonic parts washer. Through tireless research and internet advice, I have found that simple green mixed 50-50 with water makes the best cleaner for cleaning up greasy crap. To fire up the heat. Fire up the ultrasonic and let it do its work. minutes in there. Bolts look pretty good. We still got some grease on that bearing. Just gonna flip him over. Let that go a little longer. That was a total of 40 minutes in there. Let's see what we got. Ready? No junk on there yet. I think the air hose will blow all that out. Those look good. That looks good. There's still some grease in that bearing. I'd like to get all that out of there. Those are good enough. All those bolts are good. That's not gonna fit. I'll just wash that one in the kitchen sink when the wife's not looking. So now everything is degreased and we're down to this rust. Thankfully there's really no pitting here. This is all surface rust. This is a fixed jaw. Here's the movable jaw. Of course, we got the base. So, we got a couple things going on here. We've got us a piece of granite that is about as flat as a home shop guy can expect to have. This came from a granite company in Cold Spring, Minnesota. And here's a little handy trick. If you have a cabinet shop nearby, they have these big belt sanders. They just throw these things away. So stop by, ask them for an old used belt. I got this one all cut up. I've been using it for years. 180 grit. This works fantastic for this. So I've cut a piece off, about as wide as my piece of granite. I'm going to put a little spray adhesive on here to keep the sandpaper from sliding. And then we're going to get busy cleaning that rust off. So I've put some spray adhesive on my piece of granite. Took that outside so I didn't get overspray all over the shop. And I've lined up one straight edge I had with the edge of the granite. Might need that here later. And I've made the piece of sandpaper a little longer, but I didn't fold it around because you don't want a sharp edge here. You just want a nice easy edge. And if you fold it around, it gets a bubble, and because we want to keep this stuff flat. All right. Now, let you know, I just hate WD-40, but I buy it in bulk and I put it in a spray bottle and use it for stuff like this. Let's start with this guy. We'll do the top edge first. So put that on your block. You do want to keep a directionality to this. You don't want to just go around in circles, and it'll look like some guy sanded it in his workshop in the garage. So we're going to go all straight lines, side to side. So this will look like it's been surface ground when it's done. And we're really not trying to remove any material except for the iron oxide, because it's important that these things stay flat as can be. Now this one's just getting used on a Taiwan built round column mill that's not very accurate to begin with, so I'm not so concerned about this. If this was something I would be using on my CNC machine, I would take it out and have it surface ground. Did I tell you I hate WD-40? Should we see where we're at? Look at that. See, it really doesn't take much at all. For as bad as this looked, that was only surface rust, so now we'll do this side. The WD-40 on the sandpaper, to keep it from getting loaded up, so the debris that we're cutting off of here kind of floats away rather than getting bound up in there and making our surface not flat anymore. And it's just that easy. There's a bevel here. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's getting there. It's more of a round over than a bevel. I thought it was going to be flat, but it's not. There, that looks pretty good. Now this is the surface where the jaw pads get bolted onto. And a little more WD-40. Hear that zinging noise? It's because this one was never precision ground to begin with. It still has the tool marks on it, and you're hearing the tool marks. So that's good enough for that guy. Now the ends. I think the direction of the grain goes this way. These are a little trickier to keep flat. Use two hands here to get that chatter. I don't want that. But as we've seen before, this doesn't take much. See? I'll do that side. Beautiful. One last side, the bottom. There we are. I'd say the fixed jaw is good enough. Real time, that took 6 minutes. So now we'll do some time lapse. Now for this bad boy. It's a little bigger than the piece of granite, so I have to be very careful not to let it tip. I'm going to take kind of short strokes so I keep as much of this in contact at all the time. If you go too long, you'll wind up sanding out of the middle and leaving the ends a little taller. I'm going to go just a little bit more, see if I can work this part out. It's not perfect, but I'm going to call that good enough. Probably noticed the bottom needed some loving too. So I'm going to call that good enough. Now I'm going to wash everything off with soap and water to make sure I get rid of any sandpaper grit. And I'm going to grease everything and reassemble. Now we will put it all back together. you have it. That was an old rusty vise. Now it's an old shiny vise. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the page, like the post, and we will see you on the next build. I gotta go wash my hands.